Welcome back, everyone, to the Cassette Lounge Podcast, the only podcast certified by the FDA to treat micropenis and otherwise help with strong penis growth. I'm your host, RJ, and I'm joined now with our guest,
co-host Jake. How are you doing, everybody? And we have a special guest in the lounge today. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Discount Damian. It's just good to be here with you.
Aw, that's nice. Welcome back to episode number 4. Number 4 is the one that we're on.
Is it number 4?
It is number 4.
Oh yeah, there's 4 episodes, pilot episode, that's 5 videos. And
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
I cannot keep track.
We are old enough for preschool now.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Hey, so when this goes public, it's scheduled to go public on the 15th, and that is the day after Valentine's Day.
I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day to all of our loyal listeners out there.
All
guys,
2 of them.
Yeah. Shut up.
I'm one of them.
So, guys, what do you think of Valentine's Day? First, just softball questions right off the bat.
I think I've had one Valentine's Day my whole life where I've actually been in a relationship with someone.
Really?
On that Valentine's Day. Usually like, man, usually it's like a month beforehand is when I get broken up with. So Valentine's Day is an okay holiday to me. I don't have anything against it, but I've never really had a whole lot of time with it.
Let it be known I'm patting him on the back.
Oh my god. I'm okay, thank you, sir.
You're so okay you clipped the fucking mic.
I'm okay. I'm smiling. I'm happy. I've got a loud booming voice.
Let the record show, if we had face cam right now, that RJ is crying into his coffee. It's a very sad sight. It's so fun. It's so sad. I'm laughing about it.
There was one Valentine's Day for me. I was dating this girl, and I just wasted a bunch of money. We broke up later, so yeah, it was dumb.
Oh wow!
I don't really have any good experiences with Valentine's Day besides free candy.
Do you want to?
I was lucky.
Do you want to dox your ex-girlfriend right here live on the podcast?
No, that's alright.
Okay.
I like to respect others.
Aww, what a sweetheart.
That woman's name, Lindsay Lohan.
Really
lucked
wish.
out there, man.
Really wish.
She told me her name was Keela Muniz.
I don't get that
related to
joke.
Frankie Muniz.
I don't get that joke.
Me neither.
Hey everybody, Keela Muniz, the first, if that's what you get if you take Mila Kunis and you take the first letter of the first and last name and you switch them around. That is the joke. Thank you. This has been Joke Explanation Podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jake. I'm so more
I feel
knowledgeable.
learned. Yeah, I feel learned. I'm practically a comedian now.
Damian, you are our guest boy. What do you want to talk about? Do you have anything? Let's start with this. What's new in your life? Well, actually, let's go back further than that. Let the people know a little bit something about yourself, something you're comfortable sharing. Let's delve into the mind of Discount Damian.
So a little bit about me. I love them deals, them discounts. From birth, first word was discount. Please.
I grew up next to a pawn shop that I visited every day, where I spent my weekly allowance on bric-a-brac. What do you like, Damian? What do you like to do? What do you like to
What do I like to do?
get bargains?
I like to get bargains. I like to buy discounts. I like to see the savings on my receipts.
There's nothing I like more than some nice cheap pussy.
Whoa. I swear.
Whoa. Too far.
We had to pay how much to get this guy on the air, and all he wants to do is just kind of repeat, "Oh, I happen to like to save money when I buy things."
Well, my name's Discount Damian. I gotta tell him like, hey, I like the deals, you know.
But what's beyond the deals? You know, like
Oh, when I go home?
you know, like what's the
Damien.
context of the deals?
Damian, let me ask you a question. What kind of hole are you trying to fill with the deals? What lies beyond the conscious in the subconscious? What are you running from or chasing?
Low on money.
Okay. Let's talk about entomology.
Oh yeah, let's talk about
Yeah.
entomology.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the thing.
Hey, that's
It's the study of
snakes, right?
no, screw you.
It's the study of the fucking funny trees from Lord of the
Alright.
Rings, dum
It
dum.
comes
Oh, about
It-
movies.
Yeah,
Okay.
Treebeard.
It comes from the word entomos, which is Greek for segmented, or like segmented body, I think. It's a study of like beings that have segmented bodies.
So, human centipede.
Insects and arachnids, my friend.
So people who have six-pack abs.
No!
Goals. I want to be.
Goals.
I want to have this study.
Yeah. I want women to study me.
So anyways,
As voice cracks.
I happen to be...
I want to be a woman.
Oh, RJ, were you telling us something?
Yeah, RJ,
I
go
might have
ahead.
been.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So anyways.
We were talking about the ladies. By the way, here's my email address. Please, please get them digits to me ASAP.
Follow the link below.
See, I happen to be rather into entomology. Insects are cool to me, and so I know a little bit about it, okay? And this is something that just really, really irritates me, that I've been meaning to get off my chest for a while now, is the just complete misuse of the word bug. Okay? The word bug, you know, you look at insects and you're all like, oh yeah, that's a bug, okay?
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. That's technically correct in the sense that, you know, if a word gets commonly used and everything, you know, it can be considered like, you know, a common name and everything like that, you know, like...
Yeah, speaking
It's
of
not
that,
like it's outright wrong, but it still irritates me because...
you know what irritates me?
What?
You not letting me talk.
What the hell? This is my segment!
Well, guess
alright?
what? I don't care.
Okay.
I'm the guest. Just speaking of bugs, I have a friend named Bug. That's all.
That's interesting, I guess. Alright, so here's the thing.
It's a nickname. It's a
Very good, Damien. That's really funny.
Thank you. I'll be back next week.
Will you? Will you though?
No, probably not. Update: security's taking me out of the studio. See you guys.
All right. So the misuse of the word bug.
Yes, you see, in the entomology world, okay, the word bug is used to refer specifically to insects of the order Hemiptera. Okay, Hemiptera comes from hemi, meaning half, like hemisphere, right? And ptera, which means wing. Okay, most of the orders are named after like whatever kinds of wings they have. Like Coleoptera means I think like sheathed wing, and that's beetles. Okay, Diptera means two wings, and that's flies, etc. Now, Hemiptera have wings that are half membranous and half rigid. Okay, except now the order Homoptera has been found to be part of Hemiptera, and Homoptera has fully rigid or fully membranous. Well, those two. It's dumb, but anyways, so Hemiptera are what we refer to as bugs, and that includes things like chinch bugs, bed bugs, stink bugs, etc. Okay, most stuff that just has bug in the name, that's Hemiptera. Now, here's the thing: you may use the word ladybugs, but that's just irritating. You see, those are what are known as ladybird beetles or lady beetles, and those are a type of
Beetle.
beetle. Yes, a
Bug.
Coleoptera. Okay, that's really all I have to say about that. It just really, really irritates me. Okay, like, You know, we talk about pet peeves sometimes, and that's just one of the biggest ones for me. Just absolutely infuriates me. Like, people are like, oh yeah, like, that's a fly, that's a bug. I'm just like, no, it's not, it's Diptera. It's not, it's a fly, okay? Diptera is flies and mosquitoes. Bees are a part of Hymenoptera, which means membrane wings, and that includes ants and wasps, as well as bees, as I just said, but does not include termites.
So what you're saying is, when somebody refers to something that is distinctively not a bug as a bug, in fact, you are the one who is bugged.
Exactly. It's true. I was once on an entomology team. I also once ran a t-shirt business with another friend who was also on the entomology team. And we made custom t-shirts that said "Don't Hemiptera me." It was funny. It had a picture of a stink bug on them, and we wore those to like competitions. It was funny. We thought we were funny,
and nobody else did.
Other entomology teams thought we were funny. Thank you.
Hey everybody! I really hope you enjoyed our TED Talk. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Shit matters.
Me is smarter now.
Next topic, please.
Damian, what do you eat for breakfast today?
Hey, yeah, that's a good topic.
What did
Tell us about breakfast.
Pretty sure I just had a peanut butter and jelly. RJ and Jake.
Well, I woke up at like noon to Jake messaging me on Discord about his computer crashing or some shit. So I voice chatted with him for a while until like my computer had to restart because I screwed up. So I was really, really hungry because I also hadn't eaten supper yesterday. I'd only eaten like lunch, and lunch consisted of like, I think like 2 eggs, something like that. So I made a big bowl of Shin Ramyun ramen, which is really fancy ramen. It's really expensive. It's like $1 a pack. And I put 2 eggs in it and a can, and a can of canned chicken, and it was really good. And that was my breakfast/lunch today.
Here's something from the last episode. We talked about our New Year's resolutions, and one of mine was to lose weight, and so I'm on this new diet where every morning for breakfast, because eggs, I guess, are really important in losing weight because they're calorically very not dense, even though they are very dense in nutrients and energy or whatever. So my breakfast is like every morning 2 eggs, 1 yogurt, and 1 banana. Or banana. So, and it's working.
When was the last time you shit?
Every day, man. No, so when I started I was like 208 and I'm down to like $1.97 now.
Oh shit, that's nice.
Yeah. So
congratulations.
Sticking with it, trying to get to 180, and then we'll see from there.
Hey, just so everyone knows, he looks like a fine 200.
Again, here is my email address. Please send anything. Please send nudes. Please send anything that you can give to this. Please, this is more of a donation drive now. This is not a joke. Please don't leave. Damian, tell us. Okay, Damian, you're going so. Damian, you're Jesus Christ.
Hey, Damian, I have a question for you. Please answer it.
Hey, Damian, I got a question for you. You just built a computer out of parts that you ordered on. How did that go? How your new computer?
Oh, Jay, thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's going pretty well. I enjoy my computer. I'm glad my boy RJ could help me out building it. And
nice.
Finding the right parts, and I love it so much.
Your boy just bought a new GPU, which is quite nice. Ooh. Unfortunately, my power supply is obsolete and won't run it. So more and more of the software and hardware woes that are your boy's life. Very sad. Spill a beer. Shed a tear.
I'm doing all of the above.
Okay.
Your power supply is about strong enough to run half of a graphics card. Honestly, what? I don't know how your computer is on at this right now. I really don't.
It's kind of crazy. I had a good deal for mine. Discount. Yeah, so speaking about my computer, her name is Rosie Redbone. Let it be known, RJ and I are facing back to back. It's fantastic. It just happened. Like, we did not plan this.
I looked back and you were there, and I'm just like, okay, we look cool.
I'm glad it's not videoed, but I kind of wish it was just for this part.
Right. Because we're both on swivel chairs, so we both leaned back and just happened to turn in such a way that we are both back to back, but our faces are still near the mic. Really, it doesn't sound aesthetic, but it's incredibly aesthetic.
The only thing holding me back from actually taking a picture right now is just the fact that everybody would see all the neon lights and all like the bar scene or whatever, and all the alcohol behind the bar, and the pool table, and like the machines over there. It's just too much. People wouldn't understand. They wouldn't.
That's weird because that's not what I'm seeing right now.
Dude, fuck up. Damien, you're about to get fucking discounted, my friend. You better watch your mouth.
To tell you the truth, it is crazy how much of our aesthetic is actually true. You know, the fact that we are two guys who do look semi like our pictures. You know, sitting at a table with a coffee in hand. We are physically here. We're not Skyping. That sort of thing. We are actually bathed in like neon light most of the time. It's really nice.
True. We are physically here. Because if we weren't, how could I slap RJ?
Ow, shit, holy fuck, what the fuck, dude?
Just to prove a point.
All I'm saying is that a lot of podcasts they are over like Skype or something, so.
Lame.
Here's an interesting topic. Every so often I'll be walking by RJ or whatever. I'll come over and I'll see RJ. We should probably get a Band-Aid for that. I'll be walking by RJ or whatever, and he'll just say, "Hey, you know who I would like to get on the podcast? Our good friend Richard Heaney." So can we talk about potential guests that we would like to have in the lounge?
Well, Richard Heaney would be one, actually.
Yeah.
I do intend, after a while, like, when we've got, like, much more set in, like, how we're doing things, we got, like, a website up, that sort of thing, I do want to just reach out to Richard Heaney, because I think that I could convince him, and just be like, hey, so, here's the thing, we're not against, like, we don't have an opinion of you, like, set in stone here, you know, we see the bullshit that was done against you, and, you know, we'd like to hear your voice, you know. I would think that would be really cool, and it might do some legitimacy for our podcast.
I would like that. I would like to get the report of the week in the lounge.
Oh yeah, I would love to get him.
I love the report of the week. He's a good man.
Oh yeah, he is. He's you know, definitely convinced me what kind of jugs of water to buy.
Speaking of guests on the show, podcast, whatever you want to call it. Remember when you guys were starting this? You're like, wow, we should get Damian on this. Mm-hmm. Well, here I am.
Here you are.
It's great. It's great.
We're going to do, later on, we're going to do the segment we've been talking about for a long time, where we just put up some really, really raunchy hentai up there, and you're going to sit and you're going to tell us what you think about it.
All right.
It's going to be a good time.
Okay, fuck it. We got hours. We have hours to kill.
We can watch through the entirety of Angel Blade in that time, honestly.
We could.
It's like 3 episodes.
I'd be lying if I say I'm not excited.
Damian, tell us about the last very weird thing you came across. Just out in the wild that you just can't get off your mind.
Yeah, well, the most recent, I guess you could say, is when I walked into this room and saw you guys right here in the setup you have right now. It was pretty much the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
What does that even mean?
No, I'm just kidding. It's great in here. I love it. But the weirdest thing I've seen in the wild. Well, this one time I went to the woods. I think it was like, 2 weeks ago, maybe, RJ? I think? I don't know. Something like that. I remember telling him, but he may not remember.
What are you talking about?
You'll find out. Okay. So I walked in the woods, and first thing I see, is two boars just going at it. I'm like, what? Where am I? Like, I'm in the middle of Nevada, and I don't know how the hell I'm in the forest. Seeing two boars go at it, I don't know what I'm doing. It's just ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Then I woke up from a dream. I'm like, what the heck?
Okay.
That was your dream?
I guess, or was it real life? I'm not sure.
What do you get from that? What is your subconscious trying to tell you?
I think it's trying to tell me to go into the woods, travel more.
And pork someone?
No. Experience more things.
Like porking someone?
No, not necessarily.
Porking a boar?
I don't know where that comes from at all.
Let's talk about dreams. You guys had any weird dreams that you are interested in sharing?
No.
I'll be honest, guys. I'm not very interested.
I'm not sharing my latest dream.
All right. You guys,
most of these topics I have nothing to say about.
you guys want to do a little armchair segment? I can talk about my dreams. So I won't get into specifics, but I have nightmares 3 times a week, probably about that, and I always feel like, obviously I'm terrified when I wake up, but at the same time I'm very happy because I've experienced this. I feel like maybe I can catch lightning in a bottle. Maybe I can take this with me and share it with other people. I think that's a wonderful thing, and because I'm this way, I'm very upset when I don't have nightmares, because I don't have anything to. I don't get that raw emotion.
Huh.
What do you make of that?
It's interesting. I feel bad for you.
Oh, it's all right.
Like, shit, my boy Jake, he's plagued. How do I help him? I can kind of get that. I mean, from I think some of the, I'm huge into writing. I really like writing, and some of the best writers, definitely take their dreams and put them down to paper. I know you look at some of like the most some of the scariest scare writers out there. Yeah. And they'll be like, oh yeah, like such and such came from like a nightmare I had such and such time, and I'm just all like, huh. Interesting. Beyond
what we do, all this dumb shit that I love doing, by the way, it's really fun. I would like to branch out into more creative endeavors, and these are things that I'd like to share one day.
I hope that you do.
Thank you.
Oh, I had one. I know I had one. I had one time. A couple years ago. It was the only time I've ever had a lucid dream. And
I have never had a lucid dream, and that makes me incredibly upset. And what makes me even more upset is there's times where I'm like, I know I'm dreaming, I just don't take the reins.
Well, that's basically what I mean by like lucid dream.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like the full on you have control over it and everything, but just like, you are lucid, you know what's going on, you know? I had a nightmare like that a couple of years ago where it was a nightmare. It was in a graveyard in like some old like cathedral or something like that. And there were like people I knew, but they were evil. Like it was weird. It was really generically bad. Like it wasn't anything special, but it was like the one time where I could straight up go like, okay, I know I'm in a dream, but at the same time I was all like, wait, how do I stop dreaming? And it was terrible. I absolutely was the absolute like worst thing. Didn't like it at all. So
have you ever had night terrors? Or
I have
not night terrors, but what do they call it? Like sleep paralysis. There you go. Have you ever had sleep paralysis?
I think there's one time where I think I did.
Yeah.
I remember at the time being all like, okay, like, do I have sleep paralysis? Like, I wasn't moving. I don't know if I was like, because it's honestly hard to tell, like, if I was just like so basically asleep that I just didn't care. I was all that sort of thing. But I think I did. I think it was even like kind of like imagining like I could kind of feel like there was something else in the room, but I wasn't super freaked out about it. I remember that. So
Yeah.
I don't think it was like true like night terrors or sleep paralysis. Like it wasn't nearly as scary as people who like say it is, and I believe them.
Yeah.
Like I don't want that. So
Do you want to hear my absolutely true sleep paralysis story? But before we go on, RJ, do you know what Damian, sorry. Damian, do you know what sleep paralysis is?
Is that when you're like awake but you can't move?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my absolutely true sleep paralysis story. I was sleeping, right, and I was like, there's a Coca-Cola, a nice cold Coca-Cola in the fridge that I would very much like to have. So I go get it, and then I like set it down. So I go get it, I open it up, I take a drink, I set it down next to me, and I go to bed. And my sleep paralysis is like, I rolled over and I spilled the Coca-Cola. And then I woke up and the Coca-Cola was still intact. It was terrifying.
That's awful.
this has been story time with Jake.
And that is smoker's cough, everybody.
That is
Oh my
smoker's
God.
cough. Welcome back.
You know, in movies, whenever there's like big lighthearted, everyone's laughing moment, and one of them starts coughing, that always means that they've got like 2 weeks to live,
Yeah.
and they're hiding it from everyone else.
Oh, what
yeah.
a trope.
It is such a trope.
Fucking blood.
Oh no.
What's that? Oh, it's it's just a sore throat.
Oh, you know, you know what? It's nothing, guys. I was just laughing too hard. The premise of this joke was just too much for me. Remember when I coughed up blood? Me neither. Anyway.
It was so funny. I got jaundice.
R.I.P. Jake.
Rip Jake. So have you guys ever you remember something from your childhood and you're like, oh my god, I remember when I found that thing, I just can't find it anymore. It's just lost to me. Have you guys ever had anything like that where it came back into your life and you're like, oh my god, and just like everything comes flooding back?
I think so. Honestly, that's a bit vague.
That is a little vague, but like just something that you really enjoyed but couldn't find or put a name to.
That has
feel like
happened
I
to
have.
me. Yes.
Go ahead,
I feel like
David.
I'd have to think of some examples.
There was this game I played on the good old PC back before PCs ran well, at least in my household. You know what I mean? And it was like this kind of like Civilization, but you actually saw your army and you can control them and move them around. And then I remember in high school I looked it up, like what game it was. I found it. I was like, sweet, but I couldn't buy it. And then now I forgot what it was again. And so I'm trying to figure out what it was.
Yeah.
And it's just gone.
I had a similar situation with that where I played this online 3D multiplayer game all the time when I was a kid, and then growing up I just lost the name of it or whatever, and I was just like, God, what the fuck is that name? And then RJ actually brought it back into my life. He was like, oh, that was definitely Sherwood. So
Oh yeah.
I remember Sherwood now.
Sherwood is some shit.
Sherwood is great.
That's something I occasionally forget about, and then I have like a big nostalgia boom when I find out it exists again. I'm just all like, oh wait, that's that thing with the funny dance.
with the funny dance.
Sherwood's something. It's the kind of game that you really would only enjoy if you're like a 10-year-old looking around, like looking up like free MMOs to play online, no download.
Oh, back on the subject of things we rediscovered. I've recently refound an H manga that I found. H manga, what the fuck ever. I've recently refound. I found it when I was like 18 years old, and I'm very pleased to report that it's actually still good, because that is a factor. If you see something you really like as a kid, and then you like constantly have to go back and be like, is this good? Is this good? Is this really good? And it is. It's called Jewelry by. I'm not even gonna fucking try to pronounce that name. But it's just legitimately like really heartwarming and sweet.
Make sure we have a link.
Yeah, I will. Don't worry. Fucking do credit, because hell yeah, dude. It's the way that the author describes it is an arrow manga for like a rainy day, like a nice cup of tea or like a hot cup of soup, and that's the feeling that I get from it. It's just legitimately very nice.
Nice. There's a game I played when I was a kid. It was my first ever video game. It was a Nintendo 64 game called Rocket Robot on Wheels. I've talked about it before.
Oh, so good.
And it's such a good game, and it's one of those games that's considered a hidden gem of the console. Like no one knows about it, but the people that do know about it are like, yeah, this is legitimately a good, solid game. Please play it.
Yeah.
And it was my first game. Okay, so I love it. I know that game like the back of my hand, all that stuff, but like I lost my Nintendo 64 at some point, and it's since resurfaced, but like I don't have the cables or anything and like all that stuff, But like I think middle school or whatever, this was already years after I had last touched the game, played Nintendo 64. Middle school I discovered emulation, and I still play that game quite a bit. I absolutely adore it. I've 100%ed it and everything like that, and it's my game.
That was me when I discovered, I think it was middle school too, when I discovered emulation, and shit got real good real fast.
Emulation is a goddamn joy.
Yeah, it is. Hey, Damian, do you have any hidden gems, any hidden media that you really enjoy, or just something that people don't think is very good, but that you will vehemently stand up for?
Nickelback.
Really?
No, I'm just joking.
Does anyone else remember Mucha Lucha?
Mucha Lucha sucks, though.
The show?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, the show.
It's just one of those shows that I forget exists.
Luchadors?
Yeah.
I used to watch that.
Yeah.
Mucha Lucha. It's the way of life. It's Mucha Lucha. Yeah, fuck that show. I don't even remember it.
I do. Had masks. People had masks. That was cool.
Yeah.
Basically Bionicle.
Bionicle is cool.
It's really weird. Bionicle actually is something that's interesting because I got into Bionicle when it first came out. Okay, that's 2001. Yeah.
I remember the fucking tennis ball things that they came in. The tennis ball cases.
Yeah,
those are so cool.
Yeah, I got into Bionicle in 2001. Okay, and Bionicle had a different season every year.
America needed to cope after the towers fell. Thank God Bionicle was there.
I see we're still doing the 9/11 jokes.
No.
But no.
I didn't say that.
I got into Bionicle in 2001. Okay, when I was a little kid, right? Yeah. And I grew up with it. Every year, new Bionicle stuff. I had there was a very slight kind of drifting away from it during the Metro Nui arc, and I had to go back later and kind of learn everything that what happened during that. But that was 2004 and 2005 that arc was. I was just super into Bionicle, and I was there the entire 10 years that its story went on and eventually ended in 2011. And so I grew up with Bionicle. I knew all the characters, I knew the lore, because Bionicle has crazy deep lore.
Yeah.
Okay, and I say crazy deep, but it's the same way Transformers lore is crazy deep. It's much more than you expect out of a toy line,
Yeah.
It's not as crazy deep as say Elder Scrolls or Lord of the Rings or anything, but it is legit. There's legitimate depth.
Yeah.
And it's really weird getting to college and I can talk to people about Pokemon. I can talk to people about all this other stuff that I watched as a kid, everything. But a lot of people weren't that into Bionicle. They knew that there were some Lego toys, they might have had a Bow Rock or a Roxy or something. And I thought that was cool. But I'll start talking to them about the lore, and they'll be all there's story to Bionicle, and I'm just all what the fuck? It's weird to think that there's people out there that don't have this whole weren't there for this 10-year saga that I was there for. Where I was, oh my god, it's just weird.
Can you imagine the President of the United States saying, President George W. Bush saying, our worst suspicions have been realized, a terrorist attack here in New York City, the towers fell, but thankfully we the Americans can all escape to Matanui and our friends, those lovable characters, the Bionicles.
Oh my god, you did that thing I hate. You did that thing where people say Bionicles.
Well, how is it pronounced?
It's okay, so in the lore, okay, Bionicle is the biological chronicle. It is the story that is being written by the chronicler.
Yeah.
of the history of the Matoran universe. Okay, the characters themselves are split into a few different species, but the main one are the Matoran, who are basically like the normal like people, the normal peasants, and then there's the Toa, the big heroes that like are the main sets of every year. So
Nice.
just letting you know, they're not called Bionicles.
Next you're gonna tell me that the protagonist of The Legend of Zelda isn't named Zelda.
Oh my god. Next
Damian.
I'll tell you is the fact that Bionicle isn't about robots. They're not robots.
Like Legos.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're made from Lego, I guess.
Got him! Damian, tell us about some stuff from your childhood. Did you have any toys growing up? Or
Oh
Damien
yeah.
didn't have a childhood. He just kind of was birthed one day looking all buff and big-eared.
That's it.
Damian came out, he was like, yo, I went to the pawn shop today, man. I got some cutlery for 5 cents.
How do you know my childhood?
Because you told me.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
Tell me about your childhood, though.
Oh man, I had those WWE wrestlers. you
Hell
know?
yeah, dude.
Yeah. I had quite
I
the
did too.
imagination.
I did too.
I never had any wrestling toys when I was a kid. I watched a lot of WWF.
Action figures.
But okay, whatever, action
Ooh.
figures. Shit. I'll call Bionicle toys.
You guys have brothers, right?
Yeah.
You guys ever do any yard tard backyard wrestling?
Oh yeah.
Damian, tell us your wrestling finisher.
Oh, my wrestling finisher?
Yeah.
Definitely the DDT.
DDT.
Yeah, it was probably the safest, but also kind of harmful. Yeah. To do on my
discount
brother,
on
it was
harm.
great.
What was the name of your? What did you call it?
Just DDT.
The discount DDT.
Oh, discount DDT.
The discount Damian.
Like, this one's on discount. Bob!
You guys ever wrestle on the trampoline?
You should, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
use wrestling moves on the trampoline.
If you
Oh,
if,
yeah.
That
if
was
you
a good
did
time.
if you did a torture rack, you should call it the clearance rack. I know Damian did a bunch of trampoline wrestling, but I did not. I just had old mattresses.
No,
That sounds great, actually.
I never wrestled with my brothers like any like actual like oh yeah like when we're doing real life wrestling moves or
Yeah.
anything like that But I did have like a friend growing up that like I'd go and like play on his trampoline and we'd wrestle a bit and it was fun.
That's fun.
My brothers I just fought with.
Yeah, like
punches and
IRL,
shit.
like with actual fists.
Yeah, me and my brother, we watched WWE a lot, and then we kind of got a little aggressive on the
Yeah.
trampoline. One of us would always end up crying.
I
It says
love
WWE.
I love those messages.
It's F.
It was E at
It's
the
F.
time.
It was E at the time.
Yeah.
I was around to remember the transition though.
Yep.
Still angry.
Yeah.
I'm still angry.
Yeah.
Those fucking pandas.
Oh yeah, those pandas really need to go extinct.
Whoa.
If they went extinct, we'd still have the WWF right now.
Are you guys gonna tune into
Maybe Kane would never have taken off his mask.
Are you guys gonna watch the XFL when it debuts in
Oh
2
yeah.
years?
Oh yeah.
I'm very excited. It is gonna be a train wreck. Absolutely, calling it now.
No, I'm going to have my favorite players and everything. And I'm gonna be into it, dude. I'm going to go to work wearing like a big like XFL T-shirt. It's gonna be great.
I'll be honest, I don't even know what that is.
Okay,
Enlighten me.
let's back up. All right,
Yeah.
so
History lesson.
it is the year 2000, and Vince McMahon, CEO of WWE, says, I'm going to start a football league called the XFL, and it's going to be a hybrid of actual football players and
No joke.
WWE wrestlers. This is true.
Oh my.
This is true. So they got everything set up, started playing games. It was going actually pretty well for the first 2 or so games. I don't remember. I think they had like
First 2 games.
Wow.
I think they had.
I thought you were gonna say like the first 2 years or
Yeah,
something.
same.
Yeah, no. Things went really bad really quickly. I think the whole thing flopped in 2 years. And now they're bringing it back.
I'll have to do some
And for
research on
the
this.
longest time, it was the punchline of so many jokes where it was like, he even did a skit on, I think it was like SNL or whatever. It was like, I'm auctioning off the XFL. Any caller here, 5 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents. That's right, the entire league. And they're bringing it back, and it's very preliminary. They're gonna have the whole thing up and running by 2020, which gives them plenty of time. They already have a few weird decisions. There's one where it's like you can't have any prior crimes, like not even a DUI, or you're not allowed in the league.
Huh.
I think the best thing.
Oh, there goes the whole point.
Yeah, fucking exactly. I think the best thing that will come out of it, it'll just get some guys off the roster. They just don't need to fucking be there.
Sad. This means that we're not gonna get Leaf Garrett. Playing.
Leave Garrett. Get fucking Mojo Rawley out of the roster. He's taking up space.
Who's the guy that like super heavily bladed that guy back in like '96? It was like a big controversy. Something. I forget names.
What, the wrestling match?
Yeah, there was a wrestling match where like one dude like super heavily bladed another dude and like cut his artery or something.
Oh god, that happens so often though. Even like fucking 2003 through 2005, it was just there's fucking so many pictures of even like fucking JBL or John Cena just fucking blood pig red.
I think the dude got hospitalized for it.
What?
No.
Ric Flair bled pretty profusely. I think it was a ladder match with. I fucking don't remember, but it was bad.
Didn't Kane kill a dude?
That does not sound correct.
Are you sure? I remember as a kid, like my mom told me about the time that Kane accidentally killed a dude.
Well,
and like my mom liked wrestling. Like this is like the thing is my mom liked wrestling, so this wasn't like some weird like I don't watch the wrestlers.
Don't believe the hype because my mom is the same way. She loves wrestling, but she buys in just a little bit too much
into the kayfabe.
There was a storyline where his handler Paul Bearer got buried alive and he died for a while, but then he came back to life.
Pretty sure that wasn't it, but may have been.
There's so many good wrestling stories. Do you ever hear the one? Do you know Big Van Vader?
That doesn't ring a bell.
Big Van Vader is a super heavyweight who could do moonsaults. Funnily enough, it's called the Vader Salt. But anyway, he wrestled a match and his eyeball came out of his skull, and then he popped it back in and finished the match.
What?
Yep.
What a legend.
I know, right? There's the one, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle won his Olympic medal with a broken freaking neck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you remember when they were doing the Vince is dead storyline where his limo exploded?
Yeah.
And then you randomly showed up and it was all like, yeah, so this is in tribute to Chris Benoit. And then a couple hours later, it turns out Chris Benoit killed his family when he died. And it's all like, oh my god, this is a roller coaster of emotions.
I remember when that happened. Oh jeez.
That was such a weird time.
That's the weird thing about it is the fact that wrestling is known for those weird storylines.
Hey,
when an actual complete tragedy like that hits, and the complete tragedy like that is also cartoonishly dark, it makes it hard for people to know what's real and what's not.
There's so many times where they could just save themselves the trouble if they did basic research. There was when they were bringing up all these new women from the developmental brand, they were going to brand them as the Submission Sisters or something like that. The Submission Sorority. Turns out that happens to be the name of a porn production company, where it's like, oh, whoops. But I was watching old wrestling DVDs, and I have one on the history of the ladder match, and I was very happy to have the custody of Dominic ladder match. Do you guys know the premise of this?
Nope.
Okay, so Rey Mysterio, I believe, is the champion,
He's
right?
my favorite.
Yes. Rey Mysterio is the champion, and Eddie Guerrero is his rival at this point. Glenn Jacobs is a good man.
The Hardy
Hey,
Boys.
everybody, this is not a joke. Go vote for fucking Glenn Jacobs to be mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee. This is not a joke. Please elect Kane to be mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Kane?
Kane.
What?
Yeah.
Where do I vote?
Do we really need more celebrity politicians?
Anyway, so
Yes.
Rey Mysterio is the champion at this point or whatever, and Eddie Guerrero is his rival, and he says, Rey, I know your secret, and if you don't tell everybody, I'm going to tell them. So, So Ray doesn't do it or whatever. He says, Ray, I know your son Dominic is adopted, and it turns out I'm his real papi. So he says, give me my son. And of course, this like little kid is like, I want to stay with. I don't. He doesn't sound like this. I want to stay with my dad, Ray Mysterio. Doesn't sound like that at all. But So Eddie's like, he's my child, I'm going to take him. And then they're like, let's settle this like men. You want my shot at the title, I want Dominic. So what we'll do is we will put the Dominic's custody papers in a briefcase at the top of the ring, and you have to climb a ladder and you have to retrieve it, and the winner gets custody of my son Dominic.
What the heck?
God damn, wrestling is a wonderful, wonderful industry.
So creative.
I've expressed this to you in private before, Jake, but
Yeah.
I legitimately just miss the days of like comic book style, like just personas for everyone. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they all have personas, but I mean, back when like everyone had like big mask things, it's all like, I'm a demon, I'm the Grim Reaper, I'm a postman with a gun, all that shit.
I do miss that too. I do miss the crazy personas. I fucking love the Big Boss Man. I miss the Iron Sheik. I fucking love the Iron Sheik. Do you if you get Twitter, go follow the Iron Sheik on Twitter and just fucking read through his tweets. It's
Who was that big sumo wrestler?
Yokozuna.
Oh, that doesn't
He
sound
was-
right.
I know who you're talking about. He was great.
He was in the WWF.
Yokozuna.
Are you sure that's his name?
Would he ram his butt into people's faces?
Yeah.
Oh,
he was
Rikishi.
great.
Yeah!
He was fucking from Samoa. He wasn't a sumo wrestler.
Oh, well then. Shit. I was told wrong. I don't know. I remember being told as a kid by other kids. So I guess not really a credible source. It'd be like, oh yeah, he was a sumo wrestler that got kicked out of sumo wrestling. So he went and joined the WWF. That was the backstory I was told when I was a kid. So I'm sorry. I thought it was a cool backstory.
It's a cool backstory.
Kind of like how it is canon that Deadpool was a sumo wrestler for like 2 years.
Yeah, that is a
It was
thing.
like a master sumo wrestler.
Hey, speaking of dropouts, what do you guys think of Ronda Rousey fucking joining WWE full-time contract?
Oh, is she?
That is a
Really?
thing.
Oh, that's cool as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool as fuck. I'm down with that. I'll
Yeah,
probably
so
watch that.
so here's the setup for how they did it. They had the first ever women's Royal Rumble, which was it was pretty good. There was a lot of memorable spots or whatever, and fucking hey, hold up, Molly Holly, fucking perfect. Anyway, so the big winner or whatever is my girl Asuka, which we talked about in episode number 1.
This line face.
Yeah. So so it gets to be that, and so she's like, okay, here's one championship, who are you gonna title? And then Ronda Rousey comes out, and it's like, oh my god, we just made history, but fucking Ronda Rousey's here, so never mind, I guess.
Huh.
Yeah.
That was a story.
that was it was a story.
Interesting.
Wrestling is basically Western tokusatsu.
Do you want to talk about tokusatsu? You
Why would I want to talk about tokusatsu?
well, because you recently went right down the rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, I did.
Fucking fully armed.
Oh, it's a good rabbit hole. It's legitimately a good rabbit hole. All right, so tokusatsu. Damian, you're the sounding board here. Okay. What do you know about tokusatsu?
Nothing.
All right. So what do you know about Power Rangers?
Very little.
But you know what Power Rangers is, right?
Yes.
Okay. Power Rangers belongs to a Japanese genre of television called tokusatsu. It basically means special effects. Okay, and it's live action TV that uses special effects and do all sorts of flashy things and everything like that, right? Really, it can mean anything with special effects. Okay, and I think in Japan it is, but it's kind of like how like in Japan anime means all cartoons, but over here in America, like anime really specifically means cartoons that were made in Japan. you
Yeah,
know?
so The Simpsons would be anime in
Yeah.
Japan.
Um,
Or Family Guy would be anime in
Yeah.
Japan.
But tokusatsu in the West is usually used to refer to specifically like stuff along those lines, costumed heroes, stuff like that. Makes huge use of practical effects, some like obvious CGI and everything, but not like I don't think like we don't like refer to like the new Attack on Titan movie to be tokusatsu usually, even though it technically is, but that's just Western connotations,
Yeah.
that's
a
not,
whole other topic.
Yeah, it's not like any like strict definitions or anything, but like basically shit like Power Rangers, where you've got like actors, actors like acting out a storyline and everything like that, and then like big costumed monster shows up like I am the monster, and they're all like, oh yeah, let's do poses, and then they turn into like super like costume superheroes and everything, and they go fight the monsters, and they're all like, punch, 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 you've been defeated, monster, and everything like that. That's tokusatsu. Power Rangers actually is comes from a long-running tokusatsu series in Japan called Super Sentai. Like every year they go and they take usually the most recent Super Sentai season, and they cut out all of the footage of the Japanese actors, but they keep all the fight scenes because they're costumes, so you can't tell. Okay, and then they put in new footage of like Americans acting out a totally original storyline. And so it's really weird. It's actually weird because Japan there's some Power Rangers seasons that Japan, like as a whole, like like general population wise, likes better than their the equivalent Super Sentai series. It's interesting. But I've been recently watching Kamen Rider, which is another long running series. Every year they've got a new season of that where like it's a new character, and it's a lot of the same ideas, like person uses their cool device, that lets them transform, and it gives them their suit, and they're now a masked hero, and they go fight a big like monster wearing a plastic costume and everything, and it's really great fun actually. You think of Power Rangers and you think of that stuff, and it's really cheesy and everything. But like if you actually get into the cheese and everything, you actually start to see like the actual legitimately good acting and like legitimately good storyline and everything. And the choreography can be great. Like they do actually have like good stunt actors doing good stunt acting and everything. And I've been recently watching a few different Kamen Rider series. The most recent one's called Kamen Rider Build, and it's pretty cool, actually. It's about a scientist dude who learns how to Kirby 64 himself. He combines different powers that he's taken from monsters. He has to pick 2 different powers, and he has a suit that's based off those 2 powers. It's good fun. It's legitimately good fun. And it's gotten really dark in the most recent episodes. Like, it started out really, really optimistic and just all like, oh yeah, I'm a cool costumed hero. And now it's just all like, oh my god, dude, holy shit. But the actual, like, cheesiness of, like, costumed hero has not left. So it's interesting. It's just fun. I highly enjoy the genre now.
Yeah.
It's good.
Kaiju movies would also count as tokusatsu, usually.
Speaking of kaiju, did you guys ever watch Kaiju Big Battle?
You've told me about it, and I told Jake about it. It sounds like some shit I want to watch.
Yeah,
what do you think, Jake?
It's fantastic.
I have not seen Kaiju Big Battle, but I would very much enjoy.
It combines Jake's love of wrestling with my love of kaiju.
Yeah.
Really, it's something that Jake and I can bond over.
It was on like MTV in the early mornings before school would start.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. They even had like a little backstory, like animated backstories, and it was pretty cool. But like every video I see now is completely opposite. It's poor quality. There's barely any videos out there showing it.
Sad.
That's upsetting.
I'm like, where are these shows I used to watch?
Yeah.
It looks like, from what the footage you've shown me, it definitely looks like it'd be considered tokusatsu, like an American tokusatsu series.
Yeah.
So it's something I'm definitely interested in, like going back and binging on.
Yeah, I know they used to have live shows.
Yeah.
Like WWE matches.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
I looked into them, like, I want to go to one of these.
Because they're all like, the idea is they're monsters, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're just costumed monsters. I see we clipped a bit there.
Oh, just a little bit. It's alright though.
But yeah, the idea is that they're costume monsters, right?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds incredibly cool to, like, actually watch a live show of. And you say they still do it?
I think I've been on the website, but it's not updated.
Yeah,
That's upsetting.
Yeah.
We'll have to use the Wayback Machine.
kind of like how the Heaney Boys like still exist, but as far as I can tell, they're not really touring a whole lot anymore.
Yeah. They just kind of make vlogs now. I think that last one was like 4 months ago. Damian, what was some other things that you watched when you were a kid? Or do you have any, like... You can answer that one, or are there any movies that you find extremely comfortable? Just something like, hey, it's a rainy day outside, I'm going to sit back with my favorite movie, blank.
Well, hate to break down the question, but I don't really do that. I more play video games.
Okay.
On a rainy day.
That's fine. Well,
I'm not a big
what
movie
then?
guy. But to answer that question kind of from my childhood, Pokemon movie, am I right?
Oh, the first one?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that tearjerker?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's. I know this is such a weeb thing to say, but it's actually better in like subbed. The story is actually slightly different subbed.
That's what you were telling
Like
me.
it's much more. It's honestly more mature. It's because it's not. The whole thing is more about the whole like the value of like natural born beings versus clones. You know, rather than the more general anti-violence message the American release has. Like Mew is actually kind of a bad guy in the Japanese version because Mew is just as much of an antagonist who is fighting Mewtwo purely because Mewtwo's a clone and he sees Mewtwo as an abomination.
I prefer the American dub for a variety of reasons.
Like,
Well,
you can't make a statement like that and not say your reasons.
that's fine. Let me back up. All right, so think of Pokemon, right? Pokemon is this huge cultural touchstone. You couldn't go anywhere in fucking 1996 through probably like 2000 and fucking whatever without hearing of Pokemon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they fucking went all out with their dub. They got licensed soundtrack. They got fucking licensing deals with Burger King to sell fucking foil Pokemon cards.
They were solid gold.
Solid fucking
They
adamant.
weren't real gold.
Adam-
you know, they were.
Pokemantium
I've still got my
gold.
Polyworld one.
Yeah, I know what you guys are talking about now, for sure. Those are great.
I think it works better artistically and thematically in the American release, even if the message changed. They sold it to a general audience, but they fucking sold it all the way.
Huh.
You know what
I can get that.
Yeah.
I feel like the Japanese version also, was really good.
I mean, that's fine. They can coexist. They have to.
No, it can be sub only. Get your dubs out of my face.
I love that tweet where it's like, I'm a hard-working man. I'll play hard. I'll work hard. And when it comes to anime, I prefer subs to dubs.
Truth be told, though, I usually do prefer my anime dubbed. But it really depends.
It does depend.
Yeah. Like Cowboy Bebop, I won't watch subbed.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely.
Because, like, Cowboy Bebop just has the perfect dub.
It's just, it's such a good dub.
Then there's some animes where I'll watch sub or dub, like the most recent, most recent Devilman series, Devilman Crybaby, which I really like. The sub I think I slightly prefer, but the dub is
the dub is solid.
Yeah, the dub is very solid. The only reason I prefer the sub is just because I like the fact that one of the characters in the sub actually does occasionally speak English, and the English is genuinely good, albeit like kind of weird sounding because it's coming it's coming from a voice actor phonetically sounding it all out.
That reminds me of have you ever seen Golden Boy?
Golden Boy?
Yeah,
I've seen the perfect tokusatsu series, Golden Girls. That was a great show.
No, Golden Boy.
Fucking love Golden Girls.
Golden Boy Kintaro.
I haven't never heard of that.
Oh, it's so good. It's only 6 episodes long too. Hey, everybody, go watch Golden Boy. It's fucking the best. Anyway, there's one part where I was watching it subbed, where in the first episode, the girl is working, or rather, the protagonist is working at a software development corporation, and the boss is talking to American clients because if they can make a splash in the North American market, they can get more money or whatever. So she's sounding it out phonetically, and she's like, "Yes, thank you very much for your business." Or something. It sounds fucking terrible. And then the next line subbed is like, "Oh, the boss is so talented at English."
Yeah, no, I am definitely familiar with the it's really entertaining to watch anime that has like English speaking characters, because usually it's really bad, you know.
Yeah.
And obviously that's nothing against Japan, because it's impressive how much they include. I've seen English works try to go and include other languages.
Yep,
and
that is a
so
thing.
That's something everyone.
That is a thing where, like, if it's like a spy movie or like a James Bond movie or whatever, and somebody just switches languages over, more often than not, they need to put in the fucking, say if they're speaking, Jesus Christ, if they're speaking Italian in the Italian release of that movie, they have to put subtitles because God, they can't be fucking understood.
Right, yeah. That still happens. Like, I think Batman vs Superman has Batman speaking Russian. Or not Batman vs Superman, but Justice League has him speaking Russian, and the Russian is legitimately gibberish. Like, it's not real Russian. It's not even like mistranslated Russian. It's legitimately gibberish. So that happens. It's interesting watching anime and seeing like English. Like, I know one of my favorite things is Dead Man Wonderland, which has an amazing dub. I prefer the dub for that show.
It does. Yeah, it's pretty good dub.
But Dead Man Wonderland in the sub, one of the characters occasionally speaks English, and he's the one that has like the guitar. I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah.
There's one point where he shows up and he says like, "Hey, what's up, you fucking guys?" But he says it like, not only is that already weird because you don't just say "you fucking guys," like maybe like "you motherfuckers" or something, but like not "you fucking guys." But like he says it in such a really weird way. Like, I would very much like you to like cut at this point.
I will definitely,
because he says something along the lines of like. He says it like, "Hey, what's up, fucking guys?" or something weird like that. And
Yo, fucking guys. 俺の歌でも聞いてけよ。
Weird.
I like that fucking dub of Hellsing Ultimate or whatever, where it's like the priest or whatever. And he says something along the lines.
If anyone does not love the Lord, Jesus Christ, let him be accused. Oh Lord, come, amen.
This is a pretty common video, but have you guys ever seen a worst black guy dub in a series ever?
Yeah.
He sounds like fucking James Rolfe. It's really. I'll knock you on your fucking ass.
Yeah, it's the most beautiful. Like, because like, it's just all like he's all like, "Oh, hey, what the fuck?"
Hey, what the fuck? You got a fucking problem?
Like, just completely like some like just average like 20-something like scrawny white dude.
Yeah.
I'll pound the living shit out of you dumbass freaky tourist.
It's just all like, "Oh, why are you doing that? Okay, I'm gonna go on with my day." But like the character's supposed to be this giant like black guy, who's which that's a racial stereotype,
I'll knock you on your fucking ass. It's
like,
so funny.
That's an interesting racial stereotype, but like the voice just doesn't match at all, and it's just ridiculous to watch. It's hilarious
funny.
though.
You want more, huh? Say hi to people in Jersey for me.
I really like English dubs in general, though. Like when English dubs just have weirdness to them, like
oh yeah, it's so memorable.
Like 90s hentai. 90s hentai, like you'll have like characters who like.
There is absolutely nothing funnier than fucking dubbed hentai.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love like just dub. I listen to English dubbed hentai sometimes because it's funny.
It's
like
so good.
You'll have characters who like are supposed to basically be lollies, okay?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be lolicon and everything, so they're gonna be like young and like have like super young voices and everything, which is creepy and all, but it's hentai. And you'll have they'll be voiced by like they'll be voiced by someone who's just very obviously like 20-something, just completely average college girl.
Yeah.
And it's really weird. Like you'll have a character who's like 3 feet tall, but just sounds like a completely normal woman. Yeah. It's very weird, but it's funny.
Well, since you brought up the topic on hentai, I wonder when you guys are going to talk about this. I don't have an opinion yet. I'm waiting for you guys to show me some.
Okay, we can do that.
We can show you some hentai.
This was your guys' idea, not mine.
Okay, let's do it. Right now. Damian.
I'm scared, everybody. Hey,
Okay,
dog,
now-
Whoa, dog.
For the record, we are showing Damian the hentai series that we talked about in episode 1, I believe. Maybe it was 2. It was A Beautiful Greed, Nulu Nulu. This is my pick to show Damian.
Fans, do not look this up.
So, Damian is just giving us his commentary right now. So, Damian, please tell us everything you're seeing and how it makes you feel.
They're French kissing.
Okay, who's French kissing?
I don't know. Some girl and some dude.
Come on, give
Okay.
them names.
I don't know names.
All right, we're gonna call her Amy.
Oh. Hey, dog, I don't like where you're sitting. She grabbed him by the genitalias.
Guy's name is Graham. We're calling him Graham.
Graham. Alright. What about Jerry?
Oh yeah, his name is Jerry Graham.
His name is Jerry
Jerry Graham.
Seinfeld.
This is some interesting animation.
Oh, my.
It
What's
looks like a
happening,
meat
Damien?
and fuck game.
He just pulled up her shirt. She's got quite the large breastises.
Breastises. Very good.
And, yep. Just the usual stuff. Looks like a dog
Gotta
tongue.
describe.
It looks
Come
like
on,
a
man. No
dog
one's going to
tongue.
know.
Oddly shaped. I'm expecting more weird stuff. This is too normal.
Now is the time for commentary.
Wait, what the? Is she half horse? I'm so confused.
That's what a woman looks like. Haven't you ever seen a woman?
But she's white. What? I'm so confused.
That's what,
Is that a tail?
that's what a woman looks like, stupid.
You would know
That's a-
this if you
That's a
got laid
tail.
more.
She has a tail.
What else does she have?
I don't know. There's some kind of like ears. Like
Yes,
like
those are
deer?
ears.
Is she like a half woman, half deer or something?
Half horse.
Oh man. What are those called?
Centaurs.
Centaurs.
There you
yep.
go.
I just don't. I've never seen a female centaur. Okay. You ever seen a horse give birth? This is opposite of that.
Have you ever?
Here
Oh, yeah,
comes
so,
the fist.
so the guy is pretty much like the farmer in this case, checking to see if the baby's in there. Yep, that's odd. That's a weird camera angle. It's like 3D. It's kind of like an X-ray. She's definitely got something in there.
It's candy. She's a pinata.
I'm confused.
Really,
why.
you should be reading out the
Yeah,
subtitles
you should be
right
reading
now.
out the subtitles.
What the?
Looks like I found your womb.
I think he just found the fetus. And he's making sure it's healthy. And the centaur is oddly enjoying it.
She's very happy her baby is unharmed.
Yes. Yes.
Read out these subtitles.
No, I don't think I'm going to.
Oh, come on.
I'm alright. You guys are the experts here, not me. He's talking like she came over to his house or something. I don't know.
They're married.
Oh yeah, they're married for sure. The centaur and the man. Is the man have? Is he a centaur?
No, he's a human.
He needs to take a breather. What the? Is that hers?
No.
It smells like work.
Oh gosh. I like how it's blurred out. Sorry, but you can still tell what it is.
Yeah.
That is very common in hentai.
I actually remember they McDonald's had this tweet where they were like, guess what our new ice cream flavor is, and it was like just an ice cream cone blurred out.
Oh
And they're
my
like,
God.
oh my god, it's hentai flavored ice cream.
Oh, did she just break his dinghy?
No.
I don't know if you guys have tried male genitalia, but I haven't. So.
I thought we were going to learn something about you.
No. She thinks it tastes good, so I don't know. What's your guys' opinion on
Do you
that?
remember what his whole arm was in there.
Yeah.
Now his whole penis is gonna be in there. It's the same size.
Wait, is that what it is?
Yeah.
What the heck? It's blurred out. I couldn't tell.
She wants it bad.
You telling me his dingy's as big as his arm? Holy shit.
That's when it fucking appears. See?
Holy
You
cow.
saw his whole arm go in there.
I salute you, sir.
That's about all that's interesting about this one. RJ, do you want to pull up something?
Oh yeah, we're pulling up Angel Blade.
All right, here.
Oh, man.
Pull up your favorite episode of Angel Blade.
We'll probably just go ahead and do episode 2. I think.
All right,
episode 2 is
so
pretty fucked up.
Damian, you just watched a snippet of a beautiful greed Nulu Nulu. What are your takeaways?
Very interesting. I never thought I'd see a centaur get handled like that before in my life. So.
Hey, it turned off incognito mode.
That's fine.
Speaking of incognito, we are in Nevada this week.
Every week we go to a different state and we
Yeah.
record.
Neo-Nevada.
Nevada.
I'm actually a sailor in the ocean right now.
We were talking about Call of Duty in just
Oh
like
God,
in
the pop-ups.
a casual. I know, right? Just a casual conversation, and somebody you know, right?
Dude.
Was like, I just don't know where they're gonna go with it next. And one of the things I very truly believe is creativity is fucking limitless. There are infinite things you could do. I said that the next Call of Duty could take place in fucking Space Colony, Nebraska.
I'd be 100% down for that.
Yeah, I might actually buy that game.
Call of Duty, Space Colony, Nebraska.
Yes. I don't like Call of Duty. It is boring.
It is
It really
really
is.
boring. It was a juggernaut, but every so often. They're just playing catch up now.
They really are.
They're trying to be creative, but they're really just repeating the same thing
Yeah.
over and over again.
Yeah, that's true.
What's she hooked up to?
For context, everyone, the evil lady's nipples have like weird cords over them going up to the ceiling for some reason, and also she is currently balls deep in someone else.
Let it be noted, he said she.
Correct.
With he.
Well, you see, they... Alright.
Oh my.
The thing is they don't always have the penises. They grow out of their vaginas.
So with your girl, you got a triple check.
Triple.
You got anything about?
You get poked high out. What was that scary movie? He has an eye patch because he looked in the hole in the bathroom.
Oh, it's worst girl.
Oh, sorry guys, I didn't realize you were still alive.
Fucking Dark Side Phil over here. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. That's some references.
That's topical.
That is very topical. Just want to find some sex scenes, show my boy.
So what's the storyline of this?
Alright, hold up.
Penis go in Vagu. The
Alright, so,
Sounds like a good
actually,
show.
I'll just let you just keep watching it while I give the story, okay?
Oh.
So, it is in a setting where, like, I guess Earth is, like, polluted or some shit. Like, the surface of Earth is uninhabitable. So there's, I think, 99 cities floating above the Earth in the clouds called Guardian Cities, okay? And they're, like, normal, like, 21st century Earth, right? Where, like, people go to college, you know, they go to the shop, they go to the store and everything. And, like, other than the fact that, like, their police force has, like, straight-up Power Rangers powers, like, there's nothing really crazy, like, weird about it all. But there are, like, race of demons who have started, like, going around and raping everyone.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
Somebody needs to do something
That's
about
where
this.
Angel Blade steps in. You see, Angel Blade is this superhero who runs around with her boobs out and her, like, genitalia out. And she is the superhero to, like, fight off the demons. And she is actually like a shy college girl who, whenever she transforms, she takes on the body of her dead mother. who helped design the like angel system that like lets her transform and everything. And in fact, up until the like near the end of the first episode, it's also the ghost of the dead mother like piloting the body, but then like her amulet breaks, and so then she has to be Angel Blade. Like up until that point she didn't even know she was. Yeah, it's a cool transformation sequence, isn't it?
What are we seeing now?
Her transforming into the body of her dead mother.
Oh, wow.
Her mother was very young.
Very well endowed, yes. And she also has her special motorcycle, the Angel Motor, which she rides around on. And she also has a sword. It's her blade.
Angel Blade.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, makes sense. And this is Angel Blade?
No.
Oh, no.
Some other chick.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
This is Pinko.
Purple, though.
This happens quite a bit. Damian, do you have any commentary on what you're watching right now?
Wait, did the bad guy just absorb all the urine that she just shot out?
Yeah, bitch,
looks
she
like
might have.
And then put it back in her? What the?
All I'm saying is that in episode 3, near the beginning, there is the headmaster. The headmaster of the college they go to is secretly one of the demons, and he gets down on his knees and begs Nail Kaiser, who is basically the main villain. Like, she's not the head of the organization, that's Phantom Lady, but Phantom Lady doesn't show up much. Nail Kaiser is the one that actually gets into the fights with Angel Blade. She can grow 3 cocks. There's a point in the beginning of the first episode where the guy is all like, I need more demon power in order to help you, Mistress Nail Kaiser. And so she's all like, oh, you want more of my demon power? Okay, open up. And she just pisses in his mouth. And that's how he gets his demon power.
Huh.
Yep.
Very exciting.
Oh, yeah. I happen to know everything there is to know about Angel Blade.
I see.
You got any opinions on it? Seems like a show you want to watch.
No, not necessarily.
Are you sure?
I mean, I'm watching it right now, technically, so...
Yeah, and you're enjoying yourself, right?
Huh? I can't say. I got 2 dudes in the room. I can't really enjoy myself too much.
Well, it's getting on late in the day, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up here. Damian, our guest, what have you learned today?
So many things, but yet so little. Don't try this at home, kids.
Perfect. RJ, you want to plug us out?
All right, folks, you have just listened to episode 4 of the Cassette Lounge podcast. We are the best podcast out there. That's terrible fucking.
Scientists cannot debate this fact.
Anyways, as usual, I'm your friend RJ. My handle for pretty much anything is Chrome Liger. That's CH Rome Liger. You can find me at Steam with the username Chrome Liger, or like on Twitter with the username Chrome Liger. We're gonna have a website soon, so there's gonna be that. Yeah. I'll make a Pornhub account and favorite like all the Angel Blade episodes, so people can find them. But anyways.
Hey everybody, as always, you can always find me at twitter.com/ramenshaman. You can check out my art portfolio at ramenshaman.newgrounds.com. And as always, if you have any questions for the podcast or general concerns, you can hit me up at ramenshamancontact@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening.
Now, Damian, I'd like to see you more often, to tell you the truth, because you're a fun guy. Do you have a username or like website or anything anyone can find you at?
You can plug yourself.
You can come up with a name right here for a Twitter account and just make it real quick. Something like that. Just something that people can find you at.
Don't look for me.
All right. See ya, Space Cowboy.
See ya, Space Cowboy. You're gonna carry that weight.